The edge of known space captain Elena Vasquez stood at the observation deck of the Prometheus Edge, watching the stars stretch into impossible lines as they dropped out of hyperspace. The transition always made her stomach turn slightly, but after 15 years of deep space exploration, she had learned to ignore the discomfort. What she couldn't ignore was the sight that greeted them in the void sector. The space around them should have been empty. According to every star chart, every long-range sensor sweep, and every previous expedition, this region contained nothing but cosmic dust and the occasional asteroid. Yet there it was, hanging in the blackness like a metallic ghost, a ship unlike anything in human records. "Captain," called Dr. Marcus Chun from the science station, his voice tight with excitement. "You need to see these readings. That vessel is showing energy signatures that shouldn't be possible." Elena walked to the bridge, her boots clicking on the metal floor. The Prometheus Edge was humanity's newest deep space exploration vessel, equipped with the most advanced technology Earth could produce. They had been tasked with mapping the outer rim of human space, searching for new worlds and resources. Finding alien technology had always been a possibility, but actually encountering it was something else entirely. "What kind of energy signatures?" Elena asked, settling into her command chair. Marcus ran his hands through his graying hair, a habit he'd developed when dealing with complex problems. "The ship appears to be generating power through quantum manipulation on a scale I've never seen. It's not just advanced technology, Captain. It's technology that operates on principles we don't understand." Commander Sarah Mitchell, the ship's first officer, leaned forward from her position at the tactical station. "Captain, I'm detecting no life signs aboard the vessel, but there's definitely something active in its core. The energy readings are fluctuating in patterns that seem almost alive." Elena studied the alien ship on the main view screen. It was massive, easily 3 times the size of the Prometheus Edge, with a design that seemed to flow like liquid. Metal, strange symbols glowed along its hull, pulsing in rhythm with the energy readings Marcus was monitoring. "Distance to the vessel?" Elena asked. 2 kilometers and holding steady," replied navigator Yuki Tanaka from their home. "Captain, there's something else. The ship's position doesn't match any known orbital mechanics. It's not drifting with the local gravity fields. It's choosing to stay exactly where it is." Elena felt a chill run down her spine. A derelict ship that was still making decisions meant they weren't dealing with simple abandoned technology. This was something far more complex and potentially dangerous. "All stop," she ordered. "Maintain current distance and begin full sensor sweeps. I want to know everything about that ship before we make any moves." The first scan for the next 3 hours, the crew of the Prometheus Edge studied the alien vessel from every angle. The more they learned, the more mysterious it became. The ship's hull was composed of materials that didn't exist in any human database. Its energy core operated on principles that seemed to violate several laws of physics. Most disturbing of all, it appeared to be studying them in return. "Captain," Marcus called out, his voice filled with wonder and concern. "The alien ship is adapting its energy output to match our scanning frequencies. It's like it's trying to communicate through pure energy manipulation." Elena stood and walked to the science station. "Trying to communicate how?" "Watch this," Marcus said, activating a low-power communication pulse. Immediately, the alien ship responded with a pulse of its own, perfectly matching the frequency and pattern. "It's not just responding, Captain. It's improving on our signal, making it clearer, stronger." Engineer Carlos Rodriguez looked up from his engineering console. "Captain, our quantum drive is resonating with something on that ship. Power efficiency is up 12% across all systems. It's like being near that vessel is making our technology work better." Elena felt the pieces of a larger puzzle beginning to form in her mind. The ship wasn't just advanced technology. It was something that enhanced other technology around it. The implications were staggering. "Sir, Yuki," called from the navigation station. "I'm detecting something else. Multiple hyperspace signatures approaching from the edge of the system. Whatever that ship is, we're not the only ones who know about it." Alina returned to her command chair. "How many ships?" "Sensors show at least 15 vessels, various configurations. They'll be here within the hour." Elena made a decision that would change everything. We're going aboard that ship. Whatever it is, we need to understand it before those other vessels arrive. "Sarah, select an away team. Marcus, I want you leading the scientific analysis. Carlos, bring everything you need to interface with alien technology." "Captain," Sarah said carefully, "we don't know if that ship is safe. The energy readings alone could be dangerous to human physiology." "We're explorers, Sarah. This is what we do. Besides, I have a feeling that ship isn't dangerous to us. If it wanted to harm us, it would have done so already." First contact the away team consisted of 6 people: Elena, Marcus, Sarah, Carlos, Medical Officer Dr. Lisa Park, and Security Chief Tom Bradley. They approached the alien ship in a shuttle, watching as the vessel's hull began to change as they drew near. Sections of the metal surface became transparent, revealing corridors and chambers within. "It's welcoming us," Marcus said in amazement. "The ship is literally opening itself to us." They docked with the alien vessel through an airlock that formed around their shuttle like liquid metal. The moment they stepped aboard, Elena felt something change inside her. Her thoughts became clearer, her awareness sharper. She could see patterns in the ship's design that had been invisible moments before. "Are you feeling that?" Sarah asked, her voice filled with wonder. "The ship is enhancing our neural pathways," Lisa said, scanning the team with her medical equipment. "Brain activity is up 30% across all cognitive functions. It's like the ship is making us smarter." They moved through corridors that seemed to reshape themselves as they walked. The ship wasn't just advanced technology. It was alive in ways that defied human understanding. Symbols on the walls glowed brighter as they passed, and Elena realized the ship was showing them the way to its core. The center of the ship was a vast chamber filled with swirling energy. In the middle of it all was a crystal formation that pulsed with the same rhythm as a human heartbeat. As they approached, the crystal began to project images directly into their minds. Elena saw the rise and fall of a civilization that had transcended the need for physical form. They had built this ship as a test, a way to find other species capable of evolution beyond their current limitations. The ship was designed to enhance and transform any species that proved worthy. "My God," Marcus whispered, his voice filled with awe. "This isn't just a ship. It's an evolutionary catalyst. It's designed to accelerate the development of any species that finds it." Carlos was already working with the ship's systems, his hands moving over controls that seemed to anticipate his needs. "Captain, the ship is interfacing with our shuttle's computer. It's sharing its knowledge with our systems. I'm learning things about quantum mechanics that humans won't discover for another century." "Captain," Tom Bradley called from the entrance to the chamber, "we have a problem." "Those ships that we're approaching? They're here, and they're not happy about us being on this vessel." The warning the alien fleet that surrounded the Prometheus Edge was unlike anything in human records. Ships of different designs and origins had united under a common purpose: to prevent anyone from accessing the ship that Elena's team had just boarded. Asterisk. The communication came through on all frequencies simultaneously, a voice that seemed to speak directly into their minds rather than through their ears. "Human vessels, you are in violation of the Cosmic Preservation Protocol. The artifact you have encountered is classified as a reality threat. Abandon it immediately or face immediate termination." Elena activated her communicator. This is Captain Elena Vasquez of the Earth vessel Prometheus Edge. We are on a peaceful exploration mission. We have no intention of violating any protocols." The response was immediate and harsh. "The artifact you have accessed is capable of destabilizing the balance of power in the galaxy. No species may possess such technology. You have 1 hour to evacuate the vessel and submit to memory modification. Failure to comply will result in the destruction of all human vessels in this sector." Elena looked at her team. The ship around them was still sharing its knowledge, still enhancing their abilities. She could feel herself changing, becoming something more than she had been an hour ago. The idea of giving up this opportunity, of allowing fear to stop human progress, was unthinkable. "Marcus, how much of the ship's knowledge can we download to our systems?" "The ship is already integrating with the Prometheus Edge. It's not just sharing knowledge, Captain. It's upgrading our vessel, making it capable of things we never imagined." "Captain," Sarah said, her tactical mind already working through the implications. "If we keep this ship, we'll be at war with that entire fleet. They have weapons technology that's centuries ahead of ours." Elena felt the weight of the decision. She was about to make a choice that would affect not just her crew, but all of humanity. But as she looked at the crystal formation in the center of the chamber, she knew there was only one choice to make. We don't abandon scientific discovery because others are afraid of it. We're humans. We explore, we learn, we grow. That's what makes us who we are. The ship responded to her decision by intensifying its integration with the Prometheus Edge. Elena could feel the two vessels becoming one, creating something that was neither fully human nor fully alien, but something entirely new. "All teams, return to the Prometheus Edge immediately. We're about to find out what this ship is truly capable of." As the away team rushed back to their vessel, the alien fleet began to power up their weapons. The hour of grace was almost over, and Elena knew that the next few minutes would determine whether humanity would take its next step in evolution or be destroyed for trying. The Prometheus Edge was no longer just a human exploration vessel. It had become something unprecedented, something that would either save humanity or doom it. Elena stood on the bridge, watching the alien fleet prepare to attack, and realized that everything was about to change. The ship around them hummed with new power, and Elena felt a smile cross her face. Humanity was about to show the galaxy what they were really capable of. Asterisk the transformation. The moment Elena's team returned to the Prometheus Edge, the ship began to change in ways that defied explanation. The hull expanded and reshaped itself, incorporating elements from the alien vessel while maintaining its essential human character. Carlos Rodriguez stood in the engineering bay, watching systems upgrade themselves in real time. "Captain," he called over the intercom, his voice filled with amazement, "the quantum drive isn't just more efficient. It's operating on principles that shouldn't exist. We're not just faster than light anymore. We're moving through dimensions that haven't been discovered yet." Elena felt the ship's transformation in her bones. The walls around her seemed alive, responding to her thoughts and emotions. When she thought about the approaching alien fleet, tactical displays appeared in the air around her, showing her information about each vessel that the ship had somehow gathered instantly. Dr. Marcus Chon was at the science station, his hands moving over controls that were evolving as he touched them. "Captain, the ship's database is expanding beyond our ability to comprehend. It's not just showing us advanced technology. It's teaching us to understand the universe in ways that human science never imagined." Navigator Yuki Tanaka was discovering that the ship now responded to her intentions as much as her commands. When she thought about evasive maneuvers, the ship began calculating trajectories through space-time itself. "Captain, we're not just a ship anymore. We're something that exists in multiple dimensions simultaneously." Elena walked to the center, of the bridge, where a new command interface had formed. It wasn't just technology anymore. It was a connection to something greater, something that linked her directly to the ship's enhanced capabilities. Through this connection, she could feel the alien fleet surrounding them, sense their weapons charging, and understand their intentions. "They're not just afraid of our technology," she said to her crew. "They're afraid of what we represent. The ship chose us because humans have something that other species lost long ago." "What's that, Captain?" Sarah asked, her tactical systems now showing her weapon capabilities that exceeded anything in human imagination. "The willingness to change, to grow, to become something more than we were." The fleet arrives, the alien fleet that materialized around. The Prometheus Edge was massive beyond comprehension. 200 ships from dozens of different species, all united in their determination to prevent humanity from accessing the power of the evolutionary catalyst. The fleet commander, a being called High Executor Zephyros, transmitted a final warning. "Human vessel, you have ignored our ultimatum. The artifact you have bonded with represents an existential threat to galactic stability. We cannot allow any species to possess such power. Surrender now, and your deaths will be quick." Elena stepped forward, feeling the ship's power flowing through her. "High Executor, we are not your enemies. We seek knowledge and understanding, not conquest. This ship has chosen to work with us because we represent something your species have forgotten." "And what is that?" Zephyros demanded. "The courage to evolve." The response was immediate. The alien fleet opened fire with weapons that could destroy planets. Energy beams, particle cannons, and exotic matter projectiles all struck the Prometheus Edge simultaneously. The space around the ship erupted in a display of destructive force that should have vaporized anything caught in its path. But the Prometheus Edge didn't just survive the attack. It absorbed it. Elena felt the ship's systems converting the incoming energy into power for its own systems. The more the aliens attacked, the stronger the ship became. But this wasn't just about technology anymore. She could feel her crew changing, evolving, becoming something more than human, while retaining everything that made them human. "Status report," she called out, though she could already sense that the ship was unharmed. "All systems operating at 300% efficiency," Carlos reported. "The ship is using their weapons as a power source. Every attack makes us stronger." "Captain," Marcus said, his voice filled with wonder, "the ship is showing me things." "The species that built this vessel faced the same choice we're facing now. It could have used their technology to dominate the galaxy, but they chose a different path." "What path?" Elena asked. "They chose to become guardians, to protect the galaxy from those who would use power for domination rather than growth." The battle for evolution. The alien fleet intensified their attack, bringing weapons that could tear holes in space-time itself. But with each assault, the Prometheus Edge became more than it had been. The ship began to develop new capabilities, creating defensive systems that existed in multiple dimensions. Simultaneously, Elena found herself connected not just to the ship, but to her entire crew. She could feel their thoughts, their emotions, their growing understanding of what they were becoming. They were still human, but they were human evolved, human enhanced, human unlimited. "Captain," Yuki called out, "I'm detecting fractures in their fleet formation. Some of the ships are powering down their weapons." Through the ship's enhanced sensors, Elena could see that members of the alien fleet were beginning to question their orders. Young members of various species were realizing that they were trying to destroy something that could benefit the entire galaxy. "Open a channel to the entire fleet," Elena ordered. Her voice carried across space, enhanced by the ship's technology to reach every mind in the alien armada. "To all the species gathered here, we know you fear us. You fear what we might become, but we are not your enemies. We are proof that evolution doesn't have to mean domination. High Executor Zephyros responded with fury. Your words are meaningless. Power corrupts all species. We have seen it 1,000 times. Then you haven't been looking hard enough, Elena replied. The species that built this ship had the same power we do now. They could have conquered the galaxy. Instead, they chose to become something better. Sarah reported from the tactical station. Captain, about 30% of the fleet has stopped attacking. They're moving away from the main formation. Elena felt a surge of hope. The ship was showing her the history of the galaxy, the endless cycle of species that rose to power only to fall to corruption and stagnation. But humanity had the chance to break that cycle. This is our choice, she announced to both her crew and the alien fleet. We can use this power to dominate, or we can use it to protect and nurture. We choose to protect. Asterisk. The Prometheus Edge began to change again, its weapon systems transforming into something entirely different. Instead of destructive weapons, the ship developed systems designed to heal, to protect, to nurture growth and evolution in other species. The new Guardians. What happened next shocked everyone, including Elena. The ship began to replicate itself, creating smaller versions that moved toward the alien vessels. But these weren't weapons. They were gifts. Each ship that accepted the gift found their own technology enhanced, their own capabilities expanded. The enhancement wasn't forced. It was offered, freely given to any species willing to accept the possibility of growth. Captain, Marcus said, his voice filled with awe, the ship is sharing its knowledge with anyone who wants it. It's not trying to create an empire. It's trying to create a community. High Executor Zephyros watched in amazement as his own ship began to transform. The enhancement didn't change his species' essential nature, but it expanded their capabilities, showed them possibilities they had never imagined. How? He asked, his voice transmitted to Elena's ship. Because that's what humans do, Elena replied. We don't just explore space, we explore possibilities. We don't just discover new worlds. We discover new ways of being. The battle was over, but the transformation was just beginning. The Prometheus Edge had become the first of a new kind of vessel, one that existed to explore, to protect, and to help other species reach their full potential. Elena stood on the bridge, feeling the ship's consciousness merged with her own. She was still human, but she was human unlimited. Around her, the galaxy was beginning to change, as species that had been stagnant for millennia began to grow again. Captain, Sarah asked, what do we do now? Elena smiled, looking out at the stars with vision that could see possibilities across dimensions. We do what humans have always done. We explore, we learn, we grow, and we help others do the same. The Prometheus Edge turned toward the unknown regions of space, leading a fleet of transformed vessels into a future where evolution was a choice rather than an accident, where growth was guided by wisdom rather than fear. Behind them, the galaxy began to awaken from a long sleep, ready to discover what they could become when they chose to evolve rather than merely survive. Humanity had found its place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as gardeners, nurturing the growth of consciousness throughout the universe. The ship that had been too powerful to exist had become exactly what the galaxy needed, a reminder that true strength came not from the ability to destroy, but from the courage to create, to grow, and to help others become more than they ever imagined possible. Elena felt the ship's agreement with her thoughts, and together they sailed into the infinite possibilities of space, ready to discover what wonders awaited species brave enough to embrace their own evolution. Asterisk.